Itch my nose. Hello, nerdy vloggers. It is Tuesday, January 31st, and I am just now making my video because I just now got home. It is past 11 o'clock at night. I am very tired. I'm sure you're very tired. No, I don't know. And I have been out and about all day, and I've been around people all day, so I have not had a chance to just go off somewhere and make my video without being super awkward and people thinking I'm crazy. So I just have not made my video until just now because of that. So this is going to be a one-take vlog taken on my iPhone, and we're just gonna hope for the best and hope I'm not super awkward and hope that I don't say something I'll regret. So here we go. This week's theme is basically about our high school theater careers and what we've done and shows we've been in and whatnot. So I'm just going to explain to you kind of my story. The reason we came up with this theme is because I am currently in a play right now that's opening this week. Technically we open tomorrow because we're having students at my high school come see the show for free. But it's technically a dress rehearsal because our real opening night is Thursday, and that is the night that like parents and tickets we sold are going to come see the show. The play is, well, I'll get to that later. Okay, so theater has been a part of my life, my entire life since the day I was born, because my parents met because of theater and they got married inside of a theater, and it's really hugely been a part of my life, but I would tell the story in another video, I guess, because it's a long story. But the point I want to get to is how I started personally in theater in the first place, because I started my first show experience, I guess, was when my mom was in a show at our community theater, and the show was called Steel Magnolias. If you know about it, she played the character Truvy, and my dad directed it. And because I was about 10 years old when they did this, I was basically forced to go to their rehearsals all the time and to just kind of hang out there and do like homework. I don't know, 10-year-olds have homework. Just kind of sit there and do stuff, draw, color, read, watch rehearsal. I'm gonna keep burping a lot. I'm sorry, I just ate some chicken. It was really good. And that was my first show experience because they had a cast and everything. Steel Magnolias, the play, has only 6 women in it, and that's it. So it was really fun for me to experience just these 6 adult women being around me and being like, oh, you're so cute, but at the same time, I'm not a baby. I am, you know, a child, pretty close to being a preteen, so it was a very, very cool experience for me. I feel like it was my first real show experience, and that's the reason that that play is my favorite straight show. And straight show means play, it means it's not a musical. There's no music in it, so in case you don't know. And so then my next experience was, I, on a whim, because my mother was like, do you want to come with me to auditions for this musical? I was like, why not? So then the lady there was like, do you want to audition, Lauren? So I was in 7th grade, so I was 12, and the show was Rodgers and Hammerstein's version of Cinderella. And I got in, and I was just a little chorus member, but it was so fun, and it was an amazing experience, and that was when I caught the theater bug. So I quit dance, which is what I have been doing for the past 6 years of my life, and I was put into into a middle school audition troupe at the community theater I was performing at, and then I also was in 3 more shows that year in 8th grade. I was in the Just So Stories, Aladdin Jr., and Seussical the Musical, and actually I was in Seussical with both of my parents, which is the only show that I have been in with both of my parents. So that's pre-high school. And then high school starts. I auditioned for the high school performance troupe, which is, you know, up from the middle school. And even though I was a freshman in high school that year, they put me back into the middle school troupe. Probably because my audition was awful, but it really, really made me upset because it's a big deal, you know, to be in the high school troupe, and they put me in the middle school troupe, and it was just awful. And I know it was only my 2nd year as a part of the team, but it still really, really sucked. It's like when you're a senior and you're put on like freshman or a JV sports team. It was awful. So I was upset about that. But then my high school, I took Drama 1 as a class, my freshman year, and for Drama 1 you are required to participate in at least one show in order to pass the class. And so they were having like small auditions for the musical Working, because they'd already cast most of the show, but they needed a few more people. So I went ahead and auditioned for it, and I got a lead part, kind of. It's an ensemble show, which means that every part is kind of on the same level. Basically, it was like you either had a monologue or you had a song, and the people with songs were slightly bigger parts than the people with monologues. But the part I got was the part that a lot of girls really, really wanted, which was the part of the housewife. So that was the part I got. My first show in high school, and it was absolutely amazing and one of my absolute favorite shows anywhere to this day. And I just can't explain the experience for that show. Next show I was in Hamlet. I'm not going to give you details about all the shows because I've been in a lot. But next I was in Hamlet, and then Annie Get Your Gun, and those are all the shows my freshman year. Sophomore year, I got my first lead role. I played the part of Jan in Grease, and I worked so hard over that entire summer for my audition to get that part because I wanted that part more than anything in the world. And that was my least favorite show because many, many reasons, but the lead specifically really didn't like that show because of all of these problems we had, and then the final product of the show didn't make all of the trouble worth it. Because usually if a show is a painful process, if the performances are amazing, it's forgivable. Like, and you're just like, that show was painful, but it was wonderful. Whereas this show, a lot of us are kind of ashamed. I'm not ashamed, but we aren't proud of that show. It was probably the worst production I've been in, unfortunately. And it was my first lead, so that was really, really scary and intimidating. But then the next show I was in, I also got a lead in, and we did Steel Magnolias, which is the show I was just talking about earlier, and I got the part of Annelle. And it was funny because when I was 10 years old and I was just hanging around them all the time, they used to call me Little Annelle because the character of Annelle is quiet in the first part of the show, and so I was just kind of like, they were like, you're Little Annelle, you know, you're just like her, and then I got cast as Annelle in high school, and so that was really funny. That was another one of my favorite shows. Next show I was in that year was Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, and that is one of my favorite shows of all time. And I played Gemini 1, which is one of the courtesans, and it was such a fun show. I did not have a big part at all, but I love shows where I just get to like kind of just hang out and have fun. It was just a really great atmosphere, and then the final product of the show was amazing. It was one of the best shows I have ever been in. That was my sophomore year, and then my junior year, I was only in one show, and that was South Pacific, which was the spring musical, and I was just a chorus member. Not just a chorus member, I'm sorry, I love being in the chorus, but yeah, I was a chorus member, and that was really fun. Very good show. And then I auditioned for we did 3 other shows instead of just 2. I auditioned for all 3, I didn't make any of them, which is fine. And because of that, I got to experience being on crew, though, and that was an amazing experience that I'm so glad I wasn't cast in the shows because I wouldn't have had that. And I got to be a waitress, an actual waitress for one show because it was a dinner theater. And then the other show, I was on hair and makeup, which is my favorite crew, and now I am in a technical theater class, and I work on hair and makeup stuff in there, and I've been helping out with the hair and makeup for the show I'm currently in right now, even though I'm in it. So that's exciting. That was my junior year. And then this year, this is my second production of the year, and so I was in Beauty and the Beast, which is the show we just did, was Fall Musical, and that was so much fun. Oh my gosh, that was such a good show, and I was in the chorus, and I loved every minute out of it. And it was also fun, though, because I'm on the school's dance team, and the school dance team is all girls, and he had the members of the dance team be wolves in Beauty and the Beast, which is really, really cool. And so I got to dance as a wolf, and I was also dance captain for the show because I love dancing, and I've been, doing this for a while, so I got to be dance captain. And then the show I'm currently in is Moon Over Buffalo, which you might have heard me talk about a million times already, but it is Moon Over Buffalo. I play the character of Rosalind. This is my biggest part I've ever had before, so the pressure is on, but I'm so excited, and I feel like me personally, this is my best show I've ever been in. Now that I've had a lot more experience, it's just, I can just tell, I know what I'm doing for once. Instead of just being like, I don't know, I think I'm doing it right. Oh, I keep hiccuping. But yeah, and then this is the hair that I have in the show after it's fallen out, and my makeup my eyeliner is actually winged in the show. But yeah, and then we open tomorrow, technically Thursday, whatever. We get an audience tomorrow, either way. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm so excited for it, and I'm hoping it's gonna go well. Next time I see you guys, the show will be over, which is really sad for me because I love this show. It's been my favorite show I've ever been in so far. So I don't want it to end quite yet. But it has to end at some point, so yeah. But the next show we were doing at my high school, which will be my last one ever, sad face, is Footloose, and I am going to be helping choreograph this show, which is amazing, and I can still audition for it too. So I'm hoping I'm just going to be in the chorus, and then that way I can focus on choreography and have a lot of fun. I think it's just going to be a really, really fun show for me, which is good. I'm loving my senior year so far. So far it's just been absolutely amazing. But yeah, that is my high school career experience in theater. I'm sorry this video is so long, but I wanted to fit everything in there, and trust me, I could have talked a lot longer than I did. I'm going to go wash this makeup off, and I'm going to go to sleep. But yeah, Brianna, I'll see you Thursday, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Okay, goodbye.